Listen up, you ignorant pigs. Put down your crack pipes and your beer bongs, your storm-surging robotrons, and your Wraith Knight laser people. It's time to mature again with Hail Caesar, the 100 Years War. Meeting my friend again, the most legit painter I know, Mr. Anonymous, or he who shall go unnamed, for another game of Hail Caesar. This time I am taking command of my French. And basically I've been painting French all summer long. I've been painting English all summer long. I'm at kind of a break phase right now where I'm going to be doing some other projects besides 100 Years War, and that's where I'm at. But I am going to be continuing with the French cavalry and the English cavalry next when I start to paint. But let's go through the forces and the setup, and we'll be back. So here's the English deployment for their first division right here from my left, and it stops right at about there, at that line for the table. And they've got some foot knights in back, some hobeliers in back, and they've got the command base right there. Everyone is behind the stakes. Here's the second division for the English right there, and it's going to stop right at about where that just see where the big command thing is. It stops right about there. And then there's a command base for that division. There's heavy cavalry in back, heavy cavalry in back. This is their third division right here. Some guys on foot, and forgot about the billmen. And this is where the English lines stop. They've got marshland right here, and then I'm going to try to come up, bring my cavalry on. As you can see, I'm arrayed with my first division of French right here, and starting with knights, crossbowmen, guys with spears, knights, more knights, and then we got a commander, some more knights. Then we have a large peasant division. We got crossbowmen, guys with pillared and sword. Then we got some more crossbowmen, some more peasants with pole axes. Those are two-handed weapons. Some more guys with spears, a commander, and then some more, what do you call it, crossbowmen. And those are my two divisions on the table to his three. I'm going to bring my knights on just a little bit later during the battle when it's safe. Alright, so we've got two orders to move with this entire division, which is really good because the first division failed their orders. I took a division order just to move on to the field, and that's about all we'll get. And this is the overall commander for my battlefield right here, and he failed his reroll as well. So we're going to go into shots, and that'll be it for French turn one. So to wrap up both turns and kind of make this a little quick, he shot here, did them for a casualty, they are disordered. And over here he shot them for a casualty, and they saved one. Oh, wait a minute, sorry, these guys are the disordered ones. And then over here, again, another shot, and no other penalties. And that was the English, and they just chose to sit there. And that is everything. So the French in their movement got good order with the knights to move up. We got two orders there. We're going to be a little bit detained due to the river we're running across and along. But the good news is those crossbowmen are in range now, and I just need to bring these guys into range on the next turn. So that's those two divisions. Over here, we took a drilled movement with all the knights just to move forward. These guys are disordered, so they're not doing anything this turn on the spears. And the crossbowmen are planting Beauvais shields, and we're going to start opening up fire on the English. So the French put a couple crossbow bolts into those Englishmen, and they ran away. They retreated disordered with a wound on them, and those guys right there in the middle, up next to the grassy field there, saved their wound. And that is all of the French too, and the English are actually going to have to move this turn and readdress their lines. Alright, so right here we took another wound. These guys are disordered, but they are elite. We took another wound here. These guys took a wound getting into position, and that was all of English shooting, and he moved to plug the hole with his knights, which is probably a good move. So for my turn, this is already 3. These guys rolled a blunder, and they're running. I rolled some more. I tried to get 3 orders with the knights to move up into that area where they can move just around the spears. Only 1 order came through. 1 order came through for the spear unit, and those guys, they're halting and they failed orders. They're part of this division, so they halted. They failed their charge. Oh, they were disordered and didn't shake it off with elite. They tried to charge and they failed miserably. But that charge with the 2 units made it into the unit of archers. Spearmen move forward. Those guys move forward. Those guys are there and they're going to shoot. So, French shooting pushed those guys away from the line with 3 casualties, and they retreated disordered. In the melee phase, we actually dealt how many casualties? 5 to that English longbow unit, and we took 1 for coming in and 1 for our trouble. And they lost by 4. Let's see what the leadership result is on that.
2 dice.
2 dice. Oh, they're destroyed.
Good rolling.
Good riddance to bad rubbish. All right. And that will go down to English 3. So he shifted his line to plug his holes and he shot at this unit, did him for 2 casualties. Shot over here, they are disordered. We'll see if we can shake it off in our next turn, and took 2 casualties. And then he shifted the knights right there to plug the hole, but didn't want to go into the river. And it's usually that's the what do you call it? The story of the French. We always have to go through the mud to get to the English, I guess. And then let's see. Shot at the crossbowmen, did nothing. We saved it because of our shields. And then that's English 3. So we're going into French 4. So we took a disordered charge through the bog here to get to them. I did not declare the charge with the pillared, I just moved up 3 moves to get within the line here. And then moved up with the crossbows. I made pretty good orders. These guys get to turn around. Took my elite move and moved up. Got my guys behind the spears to prepare for his cavalry perhaps. Or I'll put spears into his cavalry, we'll find out. And then this unit has taken 2 charges, 1 support, and another support. And these guys shot, and they put a disorder marker, they retreated in good order, and they have a wound on them. So let's do a fight. Alright, so we got a big fight here. The green one, okay, so we need a bunch of 4s to hit these guys. And they're all hiding behind the knights. So, I'll take it. It's better than I usually do. And then, let's see. Okay, so how many is that? 3, 6, and 9, 12. 12 hits on you guys. You need 12 saves.
How many do? Oh, okay.
And then you have 7 attacks back with 3 supports, also needing 4s.
Okay, so what's my save number?
It's 4+. Because you got the knights out in front there on that big combat.
The stakes doing?
Well, that's why I hit you on 4s. Okay. So the stakes aren't going to be there next turn. If I win, I'll hit you on 3s. Let's see what we got. We got our first big fight. Uh-oh. This could spell bad news for the English.
4, 5, 6. Saved 7 of them.
Saved 7 of them. Okay, so you're taking 5.
Okay.
Okay, you've got 7 back to attack me with, plus 3.
So let me do the 7, needing 4s.
Needing 4s, yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Uh-oh, 1. Can we save it? Looks like we did. Alright, and then you have 3 supports.
Fucking die roll.
Uh-oh. 1. Can we save it? We saved it. Uh-oh. So, we just splattered a bunch of English knights right there. You gotta roll first. If you roll 12, they're gonna be alive and we're gonna be fighting.
Don't worry about it.
8 minus 5. We'll find out what that is. So we actually pushed the English archers back. He had to move his knights because if you get caught and you can't give ground for retiring troops, the unit's destroyed. And so that's why you got this jumbo right back there where the knights were able to move out of the way and put them there. The supporters for the halberdiers right there. And then that was French turn 4. We're going into English 4.
Probably there is better.
So we're starting in combats right now because as for shots, he just did some wounds there, and that's it. It got really messy when he put his cavalry over there, and he charged the low-quality infantry right there in the field there. So next, he's pushed his archers into this one unit, which is an advantage for him because I only get half my attacks to attack him back because they're joined supporting this combat. So he's going to attack with 5 dice, needing 3s. Go. Alright, so that's 4 hits. Alright, and now you have 5 supports, needing 4s.
3 supports.
3 supports and then 2 supports. So there's 2 more. And that brings for 1 more. So you pick up all your hits, and we'll get a tally here.
That triangle is 1. And then the other 4.
6.
6 hits. So I got to take 6 morale saves with that unit. And then over here, let's finish here with your guys. 7 attacks. They need 5s to hit me, though.
Well, let's do that here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
2 on... Oh, I guess you should have divided. We'll go 1 and 1.
Yes.
All right? And then that'll be it for the French. I'll gather up my dice and we'll see what happens. So after it got really bloody, it was a drawn combat, 5-5 in this entire thing. So, which resulted in this unit taking 1 more, enough casualties to be shaken, and that unit enough casualties to be shaken, hence the cow marker. Now we're going to move over to the other side of the field and we're going to see what the knights do to the peasants. So they're going to need a leadership test. They just got punked by knights, took 3 casualties, in which we did nothing on the return. We hit him, but he saved it. Over here, let's see what happens to the low-quality infantry. You have 7 clash attacks. I have 5 that only hit you 3 times, because those are medium infantry.
What do I need?
3s. You charge.
Come over. So now,
1, 2, 3, 4,
Awesome.
5, 6.
over
You beat the Anorum.
So
So you did 6 to me, and then do the supports, 3 and 2.
So total of 5.
Total of 5.
3 more.
3 more. So here we are, we're taking our saves,
also want to move off
and
to the side.
we actually made some decent saves.
So go ahead and roll.
Okay,
Say 4 out of 10.
save 4 out of, oh, I gotta roll 1 more.
4 out of 9, sorry.
4 out of 9, gotta roll 1 more. Okay, 5 out of 9. Okay, so you gotta make 3 saves yourself.
He's saving on a 4, 5, or 6.
He's saving on 4, 5, or 6. Uh-oh.
1.
He's got 1.
So I win by 2.
So you've taken 1 casualty. You beat me by 2. Wait a minute, no. If you've taken 1, that you beat me by 3. So there's 2 double leadership checks. Let's see what happens to the medium infantry. 10 is good, and then
These boys?
that's these boys. Double hand guys, 10 is also good. So, but it's still 10 minus 3. 10 minus 3. We're gonna find out what happens. So at the end of the English turn 4, it looks something like this. We backed away. He chose not to chase me, and let's see if the 3rd wave of French can actually do something. So with that 1 unit, I took a follow me order into them. The archers right there. These guys shot, did nothing, triple 1s. Both these guys and these guys put 1 wound on the knights in front of them. Since we retreated in good order, that means we act in good order. So we charged with the spears, charged with the double hand weapons, and put a unit of knights in for support. Because I thought I could charge, but I just didn't have a flank, so I couldn't fit. And then that's it. And that's where we're going to go. Okay, because this combat was so big, so confusing, I couldn't really film it, so I'm going to explain what happened. These 2 units put a bunch of wounds on here. They're going to stay with 6 wounds and a cow. And these guys back here did nothing. These guys split their attacks between here and there. We punished the archers up to 6, and now they have a cow marker for disordered. Alright? You gotta beware of the evil cow. Some of the wounds bled over to the knights, and they've taken some wounds now. And that's what happened. He rolled a 10, which is hold ground in good order, and good news is I will have +1 to hit, so even though these guys do have a cow, it'll be negated, so I'll hit on 4s, and these guys will go back onto 3s. And then all the way over here. We'll see what happens on the other side, and this is turn 5 for the French. So far I've taken 6. I've got 7 attacks with 2 hand weapons. Here we go. We did a lot of hits. That's 7 hits.
Oh, watch me fail to save.
-1 to your save.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 dice. What do I need?
5s.
Oh, I can easily fail.
Oh,
Booyah!
7 moons. All right. And then the spearmen here are medium, so they only have 5 attacks. And they only did 4 or 5 hits. And these are normal save. Okay, those all saved except for 1. All right, and then I have 3 supports with the knights here and back. And they did nothing. All right. So what? How many did I do to you? I did 7.
More than I did to you.
All right. And you did 5 to me plus, and I got 1 more after that.
You got,
Oh, you wait a minute.
beat me by 2.
I only did 7 because okay, so 7 minus
You beat me
1,
by
2,
2.
3, 4, 5, 6. I beat you by 1. By 1. So you just got to roll a high leadership test and you'll be fine. But does it botch? Uh-oh, a 3 will kill those knights. So alright, what happened was we fought back and forth. We brought this unit of knights to shatter. And then this is English turn 5. And then we also brought the English archers to the unit to the point of shatter because we won the last round and we hit on 3s. And that's kind of what brought us over. We actually only took 2 casualties ourselves because of saves. And at this point the English are conceding the field, so this is what it looks like. Because on my turn 6, the French knights had finally gotten around to the flank to start going after the English on their extreme left right here. And that's what we're calling the end of the world. Looks something like this. And we'll go back for a summation. See you soon. And there you have it, Internet. A French victory. What can I say? This battle escalated really quick. I started the division off of the table, and that actually kind of worked because I didn't have any room to put any of my forces down. I outnumbered him by 2 units because the French armies are slightly larger than the English ones, or most of the time way larger than the English ones. And so we kind of played it that way, but I was able to push through the stake lines with a boatload of wounds and units. And that allowed me to actually get to some of the soft underbelly of the English, and then I was able to at least get my cavalry over to the flank of where there was no marsh, and just to the other side of the river, because what the river does is it just takes away your charge bonus when you go over it. Hopefully next time we play we'll be using a different set of rules, one that actually uses ammunition, so I'm really interested to see what that would be like. Will the English just run out of arrows and lose the game, or will they overpower the French with their shooting? So I'm really interested to see what that's about. Very special thanks to my opponent, Mr. Anonymous, or Mr. He Who Shall Go Unnamed. Thank you for playing, and until I see you again, keep watching, keep fighting, keep playing, and stay metal, my friends. And don't forget to throw a like button and leave a comment in the comment sections below. And check out the content, video description for awesome content links to other channels. Thank you.